Everybody, and welcome to another edition. I just realized I didn't do it. Dairy, whatever. Welcome to another edition of Recap in the Past. Sorry we missed last week. For me, it was a little too much on my plate that I didn't realize I had till the very last minute. So, again, apologize for last week. But hey, we're back this week. And we are on to what Ben has been hinting at me for a little bit. It could possibly be the most important season of How I Met Your Mother. So we will definitely. It is definitely season 3, which I don't know about you, but for me, all of them, they're all enjoyable. Like, I mean, I'm glad we're not ranking seasons because that would be the toughest part.
Ooh, that might be fun for like the recap episode.
Well, because I'm pretty sure I would hate myself for a lot of it. How about we go with what's our favorite season?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we might as well just hop right into it. Now, you need to explain to me why this is the most important season.
Well, think about it. If Ted never got that tramp stamp, he wouldn't have met Stella. He wouldn't have got it left at the altar. Tony wouldn't have offered him a teaching job. He wouldn't have met Rachel Bilson. She wouldn't have given Ted the bad info for Bonnie and Robin's wedding. Ted would have never met the mother.
So basically, you're saying it's a series of unfortunate events that led to very good things.
Yeah.
Huh. You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Also, it's very important because, spoiler alert, this is the first time Robin and Bonnie hooked up in this season.
That's right, because they were a couple in the next season. That is correct.
Season 5.
Wait a second. No.
Yeah.
Well, then what?
She didn't know all about Bonnie having feelings for Robin.
Right. Yes, because this is the season where they sleep together. Ted breaks up with Barney. Right. And then he spends all season 4 pining over her.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Season 3, very important season.
So it's pretty much the crux of the whole series. Yeah, I can see what you mean. I get it. Never really thought about it like that, but I get it.
I didn't think of it like that until this rewatch.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I noticed about this rewatch. Like, I've always identified with Ted, but this rewatch, I'm starting to realize I'm more of a Marshall. But I do still sympathize with Ted because I am searching for the one. Right. Just unlike him, I'm probably never going to get it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm very self-deprecating. I'm going to die alone. That's from something Barney said in one of the season 4 episodes. Anyways, you might want to just hop right into it.
Sure.
Okay, so what is your number 5?
Wait for it.
Not on my list.
Maybe the season premiere of season 3. I love Ted's back out of a dating thing, but not before he goes through his ritual, growing his breakup beard.
God, I wish I could grow a beard.
And the thing that makes him shaven finally, Robin came back from her vacation from Puerto Rico with a lover man, Enrique
Iglesias.
Thank you.
Boy, I would switch teams for that guy. I said you would be Marshall, and when he's like listening to him play "Slug in the Pillow," which is one of my favorite gifts to use whenever I have to send like an awe moment back. Yeah, and also in this one we do get another guest star, the singer.
Yeah, Mandy Moore, right?
Yeah, who plays very against type in this.
Yep. And then the episode where Ted gets the aforementioned tramp stamp.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and oh my God, when everybody finds out he has a tramp stamp. Woo! I mean, hey, everybody deals with breakups their own way. Robin went to where did she go again?
Ecuador? Argentina?
Yeah, Robin went to Argentina and hooked up with a hippie, and Ted got a tramp stamp. I mean, it seems natural to me.
And might I add, this episode has one of the best tags of the season.
Okay.
The snapmet.com.
Spoilers. I love the slap stuff.
Okay, what's your number 5?
How I Met Everyone Else.
Ooh, yeah, good one. One of my honorable mentions.
Okay, so in this one, Ted brings a girlfriend to the bar to meet everybody, and everybody's convinced that she's crazy, but Ted doesn't see it. And so over the course of the night, they do start sharing the stories about how everybody met each other. But unfortunately, there are some things that don't exactly add up. Sorry, something just fell. Yeah. So basically, we do get the idea of how everybody met each other. So we get what happened, how Ted met Barney, which was at a urinal.
Yeah.
We do get how Ted met Marshall, which obviously we all knew, and of course how everybody met Robin. But we also get how Ted and Lily met for the first time, and there's a bit of a mistake there. Ted thinks he made out with her. Lily doesn't. Says that's not the case. And Ted's under the impression that the reason why Lily went to the dorm room in the first place where she met Marshall was to go see Ted, but nope. And then it's revealed later at a tag at the end that no, it actually was someone else. Yeah.
But you forgot my favorite meeting. When Marshall met Barney.
Oh shit! Why am I blanking on what that one was?
Remember Barney was like going Marshall to kiss a random woman? And
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
and
Saying Marshall can't get that hot piece of ass, and then he's like, "All right." It turns out it's Lily. Just full disclosure, folks. I watched this like probably about a week, 2 weeks ago. So I mean, there's been a lot of weeds since then. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. So yeah, that's it's always fun. I like flashback episodes because it's always nice to go see everybody's past and stuff like that. And with this one, you get everyone's origin story.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And the actual ramen, but like they said, we already knew ramen.
Okay, so I just found something out on IMDb that's gonna blow your fucking mind.
Okay.
You know who plays Too Much Tongue Guy that Lily made out with?
No, who?
Phil Lord from Lord and Miller.
Oh, fuck, no.
Yeah, it's right here on IMDb. Yeah, uncredited as Too Much Tongue Guy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder who plays, I forgot her name. The, really one.
It's her name is Betsy Rue, who I don't think I've ever seen in anything before.
Okay.
Damn. She's just been done some background stuff in movies. She was in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, My Bloody Valentine. Did an episode of CSI. She didn't really do a whole heck of a lot.
Okay.
Okay, what is your number 4?
Sand Castles in the Sand.
That is on my honorable mentions.
So this is the second part of the Robert Smuckers saga.
Yeah, and a very important episode.
Yep, because, well, Robin's ex comes back in the picture from high school, and she tunes into how she was in high school.
Yeah.
How would you call it? A groupie?
Yeah, very much so. A groupie. Now, I just want to say this up front. James Vanderbeek's character gives Canadian men a bad fucking name. We are not like that at all. Nobody ever calls a jacuzzi a jacuzzi. Ever.
Oh, really?
No, I've never heard anybody in my 33 years living in Canada call a jacuzzi a jacuzzi.
Yeah, I like this episode. And like we alluded to, there's a new song from Robin Smuggler at the end, and
Yep.
Ronnie gets to watch over and over and over again, which actually leads to Ronnie and Robin hooking up for the first time.
Yep. Yeah, and the reason why she lets Barney watches because pretty much he was her shoulder to cry on after Numbnuts dumped her again. And so as a thank you, she brought him over and showed him the tape. And like as you said, watched it over and over and over again. And I don't know if you've noticed, but every time they cut to them, they were closer and closer, eh?
Yeah, I think I did
Yeah.
notice that.
Yeah. Oh, and of course there is a very special guest star in this one.
Alan Thicke, right?
Okay, so two. Alan Thicke, of course, because he's Canadian royalty. But the other one is none other than 80s teen pop star Tiffany,
Right.
who I am convinced is Carrie Byron's older sister from Mythbusters. Seriously, look at the two of them. They look related.
Okay. So, everyone thank you. So, what is your number 4?
It's 10 sessions, which I'm assuming is going to be a punt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's my number 3, so do you want to talk about it now?
Sure. So basically, Ted has already met his what is it called? Is it not a dermatologist? Is it? No.
Tattoo remover, not
No,
you.
there's actually a technical name for it. What she does, it's to do with skincare. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's dermatologist. Anyways,
Yeah, okay.
so he develops feelings for Stella during the course of the sessions to get the tattoo removed because when you get a tattoo removed, it actually is a pretty long process.
Yeah.
It's a lot of doesn't look pretty, but anyways, he asks her out, but she says, "Unfortunately, I can't date clients," which understandable. It is what it is. So Ted takes it upon himself to win her over in 10 sessions. And during the course of this, he tries to get her jealous by using Britney Spears, the massive guest star. Now, they edited it out of the episode, but the very first time she appeared on screen, there was like a 5-minute standing ovation or something like that. Yeah. And she plays the ditzy country bumpkin receptionist, so she's naive as all hell to Ted's what he's doing. She thinks he's actually trying to hook up with her, but in reality, no, he's trying to use her to get back at Stella. Finally, he convinces her to go on a date with him, but unfortunately, because of her schedule, she doesn't have much time to go out. So he uses her lunch break to do a 2-minute date. And my God, is it romantic! You get
Yeah.
everybody from Ranjit involved. You get Wendy from the bar involved. They got a little bit of a movie, which is Manos: The Hand of Fate, because they argue about if it's the worst movie of all time or not. It's a really adorable date. It actually makes up for Ted treating Britney Spears like shit.
Yeah, but
You
yeah.
probably will hear us reference over time that Ted is a cad because he does some really dumb stuff. This would be one of them. It's not the worst thing he's done by far, but yeah, it's not exactly nice either. Oh, and fun fact, the lab coat that Stella wears is actually Sarah Chalk's Scrubs coat.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I forget if she was running late or she just had it. Then
The show was over by this point, and she kept it because a lot of people keep props and stuff, and so she had to put a pocket protector to cover the Dr. Elliot Reed. Yeah. Oh, and fun fact: if you start a timer when Ted says go and stop when he says and date, Ted's 2-minute date lasts 2 minutes and 19 seconds. When he says, "Ooh, look at the time," it's right at the 2-minute mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. There's nothing he can't do.
Oh God, yeah. God bless the land of television. Okay, so what is your?
Well, that was my number 3, so you're number 3.
Sorry, I just got a text that Where is it? Well, no, that's my number 4, which was your number.
Right.
So, what's your number 4?
Yeah, I didn't name my number 4.
What was your number 4?
10 Canyons in the Sand.
That's right. You start first. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Have you smoked today?
I'm not blonde. No, I'm not gonna get in there. I'm not gonna go there. Let's see. I have my ditzy moments.
What's your number?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, good one.
Yep. Now let's. Okay. So the guys shatter Ted's impressions of his new girlfriend by telling him she talks too much. Ted responds by turning the tables on everyone else, and they all react by pointing out Ted's worst flaw. So pretty much this whole episode is finding out what everybody's worst flaw is. You've got Lily, who sounds like she's chewing gravel.
Yep.
Ted, who likes to correct everything. Barney's as he will go high pitched, I believe.
Yeah, I have a few.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay. Okay, Marshall is he likes to sing everything he does, which just played into a little bit later. Um that's really the only thing they actually give on IMDb.
Okay.
But yeah, one of the things that they really rag on Marshall at the end was this random thing that he was singing, and then after hearing it a few times, he's like, "Shit, that's my password." Because Marshall's story in the whole episode is he took the bar, and now it's time for him to get his exam, but unfortunately, he couldn't find his password, so he has to sit there and listen to all his friends, right? Give congratulations to all his friends because they all made it in, and he's just like, "Fuck, I gotta wait 2 weeks."
Yeah.
But at the very end, when he hears that song, he's like, "Shit, that's my password." And at the very end of the episode, everybody stops fighting because, hey, Marshall's a lawyer. He successfully passed the bar, and that's what I love about this group of friends. And it's something that everybody does. Like I've seen it in my personal group of friends too, where we're all arguing, but when something big happens as we're celebrating, everybody forgets what we're bitching about.
If something good happens, you celebrate. But if something bad happens, you console.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Friends, which we will talk about, one of my least favorite episodes is when you have the three fighting to get to the other three over who makes more money. You remember this?
Oh, and Friends. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
more memorable episodes.
And the reason they stopped fighting was because Monica loses her job.
Yeah.
So then they all come together.
Yeah, it pretty much there's moments like that where they realize, hey, there's shit that's bigger than what this is.
Right.
And I think this was a better episode than that one, personally.
I don't like that episode.
It's awkward. It's definitely one of the more awkward Friends episodes. I'll give you that.
I'm not looking forward to watching it again. Mine just me. So I'm on my number 2 now, right?
Yes.
I think they're going to get printed. Snapsgiving.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. What's your number 2?
Rebound, bro. God, I love this. Hands down, has got my bet the funniest guest starring episode of them all. So basically, this is the 2 episodes after Barney sleeps with Robin, and Ted. So since Barney and Ted are no longer together, Barney is trying to overcompensate. He's trying to cope by finding a new bro to bring to the bar. Unfortunately, nobody can, because obviously Marshall's married, and everybody else that used to be his bro he reaches out to either became a loser or also got married or whatever. He ends up finding one in his office whose name is Randy, played by none other than the great Will Forte. Oh my God, is he hysterical in this episode. When Barney says he's going to hang out with him, he's just like, let me go check my schedule. And he goes outside and he goes right around the corner. I guess he forgot that Barney's walls were made of glass because he does the most awesome, like, celebratory dance ever. And then he comes back and he's like, yep, that's good. And so Barney takes him to McLaren's and he has a hard time picking women. And he's just like, oh, look, your nose is bleeding. Yeah, that happens whenever I get an erection. I fucking died the first time I heard that. Died. And then they finally find something that Randy could use to pick up women, and it's just talking about how he got fired from the force. And when he finally picks up a girl as they're about to leave, this big gusher of blood. He's like, "Yeah." Yeah, hands down, my favorite guest star they've ever had because he's so funny. Spoiler alert: he does come back.
A few times, right?
I
Maybe
think I think it's only twice.
okay, well, that a few times.
Hmm. And then what is the? Oh yeah. So and then the other plot of this one is Ted and Stella have been dating for a while, but unfortunately they haven't slept together. And when Stella says why, um, Ted goes and he tells everybody else. And basically the reason is because she hasn't been intimate with somebody since since Tony, since her ex. And so Ted brings that up, and then of course Marshall mentions it next time he says see Stella. Stella gets upset and says, "You know what? Maybe this was a mistake." And Ted's just like, "No, maybe you're just looking for a way out. Maybe you just don't want this to happen or whatever." Anyways, so they do their makeup thing, and then they end up sleeping together. And Bob's your uncle, and what you call it?
Well, then the episode Ted also meets the daughter, right?
Yes, because instead, at the very end of the episode, instead of going to sleep at a hotel like the original plan was, Stella takes him back home to New Jersey to meet her daughter, which, in my opinion, and as Ted said at the end of the episode, is a much bigger step.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a good one.
Yep, very much so. But hands down, the highlight of the episode is Randy in the bar.
Right.
Just,
Okay.
yeah, that happens every time I get an erection. It's just like, oh my fucking lord. Like Robin Williams has always said, God gave man what was it? God gave man a penis and a brain and only enough blood to run one at a time.
Oh, he Robin.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my number 2. You already did your number 2, right, which was a punt. So let's do our honorable mentions.
Okay. I'll go. I have to. Everything must go.
Okay.
And no tomorrow.
Okay, No Tomorrow is also on my list.
Okay.
So let's just give a brief thing on No Tomorrow. So right, so on St. Patrick's Day, Ted follows Barney to a bar to party like there's no other, while Robin discovers something strange about Marshall and Lily's new apartment, which turns out I think is crooked. And Ted, he goes to the bar with Barney, and he remembers it in one way. He's very suave, everything's going on, whatever. It turns out, no, he finds out afterwards. After Marshall plays him the multiple voicemails that he left, that no, maybe things weren't quite as he remembered, and he didn't like the person he was. And it was at that point that he once again, I gotta find the one. Anyways, he realizes he left his new phone at the bar, goes to the bar, gets his phone, but it's raining outside, so he grabs what we see for the very first time, the yellow umbrella, which, unbeknownst to him, belongs to the mother.
Right.
Yeah. Which, I'm not mistaken, this is the first episode we get to see something of the mothers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the one with the one with Rachel Bilson's next season, right?
Season 5 and the 100th episode.
Jesus, apparently everything is blending into season 4 for me. Yeah, so this is the very first time we actually get a hint of the mother. Other than her being mentioned, this is the first time we actually see something that belongs to her.
Don't forget, at that party, the mother was there, apparently.
Right, the mother was there. Now, this is a future spoiler. I actually don't remember if this is mentioned in this episode, the episode How Your Brother Met Me. At the very beginning of the episode, she is at a bar, at a party. I wonder if that's the same party. I'll have to pay more attention when we get to it, but I wonder if that's the same party. The one where she finds out what happened to her boyfriend.
No, I know. I think that was later on in the episode. I think we knew that part. Because remember, I think if I remember correctly, forgive me if I'm wrong. I think when that episode starts, she had my parents. And then she goes somewhere else to meet her boyfriend. And that's where she finds out.
Okay, let's not get into it because I'm going to start crying. That's like hands down my favorite episode of the whole series. And it's such a well written. I don't honestly think anybody has ever done as good a job introducing a new character as they did in that episode. That's weeks away.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Wait, okay.
What's your honorable
Okay,
mention?
so the rest of my honorable mentions, I have Little Boys,
Okay.
The Yips, see Barney lose his mojo, and Robin go full lesbian at the gym. No Tomorrow, The Bracket, which somebody's going around ruining Barney's chances to hook up with women.
Not going too much into it. Going to come back soon.
Okay, and then of course Sandcastles in the Sand. So I'm assuming then that The Bracket is your number one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's too bad the other like that. That's why there's like I have 5 honorable mentions because there's so many good episodes.
And what makes it a great episode, and I love how everyone. The episode is, like you said, about somebody is bad mouthing party and them trying to figure out who it is.
Who it is, which is revealed later, not in this episode.
Right. Well, what makes this my number one? And I don't care if this is a cheat or whatever, it's a tag. And this makes my nostalgia heart happy.
Okay, let's explain the tag, because again, I'm blanking right now.
And the one where Neil Patrick Harris is at the computer.
Oh, yes.
Typing his blog. And has a Doogie Howser theme music playing. It's a great.
In computer software, because it hasn't upgraded in 20 odd years.
Yes. It's a great Easter egg, it's a great homage, and it just makes my nostalgia heart really happy to see him back in that.
So I've never seen Doogie Howser, so I actually don't have that nostalgia for it, but I knew what it was because I know what Doogie Howser is. I got it right with that. Because that has to be the most iconic thing from Doogie Howser.
Yeah, every episode he edits right there on his computer, typing away, well, I guess, what would be known as a blog at the end of every episode.
Spoiler alert, Doogie Howser becomes Barney Stinson. But for me, my favorite part of this was the whole bracket thing because, as Lily's mentioned a few times, isn't that my chalkboard? They stole the chalkboard from her classroom, and they did this giant bracket out of it because Ted and Marshall like to do this NCAA, the NCAA, what's the tournament called?
March
Madness thing. But once Barney realizes that somebody's sabotaging him, he's trying to figure out who it is. So they decide, hey, let's do the bracket. And holy, the size of this bracket, holy shit. And then they have it narrowed down to regions. And so what is it? The final 4 is the ones they go after. So Barney's trying to find out who it is. So he runs into April Bowlby, who he pulled a Ted on and told her he loved her after the first date. And she reciprocates that again. But my favorite one was the girl he left at the campsite. And when he goes and ends up trying to apologize, whatever, she's with a gentleman. And at the end of the episode, they're like, yeah, it was a good 4th of July weekend. The guy's like, wait a minute, 4th of July? Turns out she cheated on him with Barney. But yeah, Barney said, like, because they're in the middle of nowhere and he can't escape a window, he fucking steals her Jeep. It's like, and there was a bear there, apparently.
But you got the funniest part about the March Madness thing. Ted and Marshall do all this work to get to prepare for the tournament, and they realize they're ready to follow the tournament, and they realize they lost in the first game.
Oh, I forgot about that. There's just so much in that episode that overshadows it that I totally forgot.
I know.
Okay, so now we're on to my number one. I'm actually shocked this wasn't higher on your list, to be honest.
Yeah, I only because I knew it was going to be your number one, and I didn't want to take another spot.
Please.
Nice.
So, Slapsgiving, as Ben alluded to earlier, at the beginning of the season, we got a little hint, and it was slapsgiving.com with a countdown to what was it, to like 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving. And this gives Barney a massive complex to the point where everybody moves. He's like he flinches every time. It's typical Barney fashion. And this is also the very first time the gang has spent a Thanksgiving together, because Ted would always go visit his parents. Robin would, well, it's Canadian. She's Canadian, so Thanksgiving is different. And so nobody's really spent it all together. So it's the first one. But there is some shenanigans going on. Ted and Robin, they slept together the night before, which is awkward.
What did they call it? A backslide?
Yeah, a backslide. Yeah. And so there's that. Robin also has invited Bob, a 40-year-old she has started dating, who, even though it's a 41-year-old, everybody thinks he's older. So you're seeing the actor Orson Bean from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, which is pretty damn funny. And it's very funny we're seeing Orson Bean saying, "I brought Jello shots to." Yeah. And unfortunately, this is the episode that they realize it's very hard for them to be around each other just because the breakup is still fresh or whatever. And how they show it is, and this actually became a major staple later in the show, was at the very beginning of the episode, they said that when Robin and Ted were very close, they always did this thing where somebody would say like major disappointment or something along those lines. They go, major disappointment anytime somebody used the military rank, which is actually a pretty good joke, but everybody freaking hated it. And then they broke up, and of course that all stopped. And at the beginning of this episode, they realized that maybe they shouldn't see each other as often because it's, still too fresh and all that stuff. Go ahead.
I have a question. Isn't that a little contradictory? Because at the end of the premiere, they were all, the premiere was about them moving on and them agreeing the breakup is mutual. So why?
It is, but there is an underlying context. Like in this episode, they say they've been pretending the whole time as if everything was okay.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's decided, like, they got into an argument, they slept together. The next day, they decided, you know what, maybe we should just not see each other again. And during the Thanksgiving meal, I can't remember who says it, but somebody uses a military rank, and both of them, without realizing it, do this. And then they look at each other and they realize, no, we can't get through this. We'll still be friends.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the better moments where we realize, you know what, we'll be fine. And I will admit to have used that a few times myself. But because of the whole situation going on, with all this drama going on, Lily gets mad and says, "That's it to Marshall. No one is getting slapped." So,
you forgot something though.
Probably. Plot summary on IMDb is shit.
You forgot that during the episode, Marshall was talking Barney.
Right, yes. The whole time he's saying the word slapsgiving, or he's just doing things to give Barney a complex. And that's one of the things, along with Ted and Robin's drama and all that stuff, that makes Lily go, "That's it. Nobody, fuck you guys. Let's get through this. Nobody's doing slapsgiving." Until the very end, when Barney is taunting Marshall, because everybody at this point is already reconciled. We've already got we already got that happen. Everyone's in a good place. And Barney's like, "Oh, would you look at that? Your counter's already passed, blah, blah, blah." And Marshall looks at Lily, and Lily's like, "Slapback Commissioner says it's on." He just turns around and just smacks him so freaking hard. And he's like, "That's 3. And wait, there's a song." And he runs to the piano and he plays "You Just Got Slapped." And the best part of the song is Barney in harmony while moaning. Whoa. It's just so good. So good. And funny enough, future spoilers, the episode where we meet Lily's dad. Right?
Yeah.
You recognize the ditty for the slap bet game?
Oh, yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my number one. The slap bet episodes are the one with Lily is play is probably if I were to rank them, it'd be at the very bottom.
Yeah.
The slap giving episodes are definitely at the top. Plus the one that occurs during the final season. Like they're all good because you get to see Barney turning into a cowering little child.
How about we're not there yet, but the few in season 7 that involves the turkey tie?
That involves what? Sorry.
The turkey
Oh
tie?
yeah, of course, yeah. I'd have to say probably one of the most outrageous one happens in the final season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I like the slow motion thing, but it's just how Marshall has to. Anyways,
We'll get there.
it's
No,
really tough because there's a lot of good stuff coming up, and he just
I know. Man,
like
I know.
so. Overall, season 3 has to be like probably top 3 seasons, I guess. Eh?
Well, yeah. I really, you know what I'm saying? It's the most important of any of the seasons.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Without,
definitely not wrong.
without it,
I just have to share this.
of course you do. Never
uh,
bet. Oh, I'm
but
never
hey,
going
one
to.
year something rotten. So I downloaded a couple of the tracks on the How I Met Your Mother soundtrack because they took songs from the movie from the show and stuff.
Yeah.
The You Just Got Slapped does not have Barney's harmony,
What the fuck?
which sucks because that is one of the best parts of that song. And
Okay. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to implement a new segment on the show real quick.
shoot it.
Well, whenever there's a new Lemon Smoker song, we rate the Lemon Smoker song. All of them. So
Okay, great. So there's four,
as of right now, we're at
two.
2. Let's go to the mall and Sandcastle. Which do you like more?
So for me. It's Let's Go to the Mall, Sandcastles.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
But
The
that
other
first,
two,
yeah. Well, yeah. Me.
especially the kid show one.
Oh my! I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to talk about that episode.
Oh my god, the In You Fucking Windows in that song. Wow.
Huh, forget about the song. How about space teams in general?
True. They're them and their fevers. Yeah.
Uh,
Anywho,
yeah, yeah. And
anything else?
then I can't wait to talk about season 4 next week.
Okay, so what do we have to look forward to in season 4, Ben?
We have Ted vs. a Court.
Yup, finally.
And 3 Days of Snow in season 4.
Sorry?
3 Days of Snow in season 4.
Yes. Yes, it is. You've
We
got that.
have the we have the introduction of Bonnie's mother.
We do. We also have the introduction of a Canadian staple, Tim Hortons.
Okay. We
That episode which
also
is going to definitely be the most of how much of this is actually true.
we also have the reveal of who Bonnie works for in the Quantic Kid,
Yeah.
who I contend is one of the reasons why we have come time to this very day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got the introduction of the word simple.
Right?
Oof. Benefits. And of course, the introduction of the naked man.
Right. And who has here, Brendan, who has the best hamburger? You'll find out next week.
And we will, for fun, let's discuss who we like. Obviously, we're going to have two different experiences when it comes to burgers. You're American, I'm Canadian, so we've all had different burgers. But we should say what our favorite burger is.
Fine with me.
Okay, because I can split it into two categories.
Nice.
Yeah, and of course, you've also got the wedding.
Another very important episode.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, and also the introduction of another long-standing trope.
You don't tell me off camera, but only one cameo that's fucking hilarious to me.
It's not the one that lasts for 2 episodes, is it?
And did not have a good episode.
Oh, okay. I was looking further down. I was thinking of Ted's girlfriend. She's from the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah,
that,
sorry.
yeah. I wouldn't call that a cameo. She comes back a few more times.
That's true. Everything else after these 2 episodes are cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and also we do have the season-long struggle within Barney Stinson.
Right.
Emotions for Robin, which truthfully, when him and Lily talk about it, it's pretty damn funny because he just melts and turns into a schoolgirl.
Well, I love Barney and Lily's relationship throughout the whole show.
Oh, 100%. You could tell that theirs is easily the most, I don't want to say mature, but it's the most pure? No.
No, I think when Barney
It's more than just best friends. It's more like brother sister.
It's more familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, brother sister.
Yeah.
And I do like that concept that was introduced of Barney having someone he can go to with these things, because it's the thing about Barney, he is so insecure that he has a hard time opening up to people, but it's nice to see that he has somebody in the main group that he can and that is willing to help him along the way, no matter how much dumbass tries to sabotage it.
Oh, no matter in season chunk, he tells. I think that's next season too.
Yes, which I did tell you off air, but you know why they did that?
Yeah, maternity leave.
Correct. Yeah, so the whole time they said that she didn't hang out with the group is the whole time she was off for maternity leave.
Yeah, I knew that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Allison and Kobe were pregnant at the same time.
Yes, but Allison Hannigan was pregnant first, and more of Robin's Colby Smolder's pregnancy was more into the next season.
Okay.
She was pregnant at the end. You could kind of tell, but she really started to show in the next season.
I don't remember.
It's mostly at the beginning.
I don't remember her taking off, so I don't know how.
She didn't, but you got to remember the thing about these TV shows; they do go on hiatuses, right?
Yeah.
And with her, I don't want to sound like a dick saying this, but with her, you didn't really see it here, but you could definitely tell she filled out in other areas.
Okay. That's all you need.
Anywho, on that note, Ben, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at MadRated 2. You can also find me on this YouTube channel every Tuesday on Shooting the Breeze with Matt here, every Friday on this show, every Saturday on the flagship show, Get Swilly, every Sunday on Ben's Hot Takes, and every Saturday on Matt Smowdown, my other YouTube channel, Smowdown Show. I think I got everything this time.
Yeah. And like Ben said, you could find me on all those wonderful shows here, but you can also find me on my other YouTube channel, Schmoes of the North, where myself, Dave, Daniel, and Louie, we break what's going on in the Schmodown. We do interview competitors from in front of and behind the camera. And this is airing what day? Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so tonight, after the first pay-per-view of the season, the four of us, we're going to be hopping on camera and we're going to be giving our live reactions after the show. So definitely check that out. Okay, so with that in mind, thank you very much for joining us. Like I said again, this is my favorite TV show, so it was always fun to talk about it and to do these lists and stuff like that. So we will definitely see you next time on Recap in the Past. And don't forget, everybody, smash cancer.
Yeah.